Tell me, how does it feel to run away from something so real? I'm wondering if you're missing me as much as I am missing you. If not across the sea, how will you keep true? How is this gonna work? I need a girl I can touch without feeling like a jerk. Cause we're just wasting time. One of us breaks down, realizes we're not fine. 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 Any other time would have been said. A perfect lovers, fate wouldn't let you stay with me. You had to fly across the sea. And while I'm here, I want you near, but there's complexities. How is this gonna work? I need a girl I can touch without feeling like a jerk. Cause we're just wasting time. The one of us breaks down, realizes we're not fine. 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 I wanted to be with you for so long. The when it came true was the best, like I knew it would. But in retrospect, I never should have kissed you that night when we were all alone, drinking fire, not abandoned home. 'Cause now I'm left broken and fast with the bleeding feet fluttering under my chest. To the same, it is better to have loved and lost, but that's alright when you know the cost. So it is better to never loved at all. Oh, it is better to never loved at all. Oh, it is better to never loved at all. Oh, it is better to never loved at all. How is this gonna work? I need a girl I can touch without feeling like a jerk. Cause we're just wasting time. One of us breaks down, realizes we're not fine. How is this gonna work? I need a girl I can touch without feeling like a jerk. Cause we're just wasting time. One of us breaks down, realizes we're not fine. We're not fine. We're not fine. We're not fine. We're not fine.
Hey, look at that. It seems to be working. Minus Boyd's being weird.
What else is that?
Um,
I'm moving the dice out of my reach.
what'd you roll? Did you roll 20?
I did.
Nice.
I'm still moving it away.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm always going to sit here and have the
Roll dice the entire time.
dink in the back of this.
Yeah, so for those who,
Curtis has a new hobby.
so everyone who listens to this knows that we play D&D.
Really?
Yeah. But I decided to, give it a try and buy a mold because I have a bunch of fucking resin shit and I like casting with resin.
And by mold, we mean think for shaping stuff, not blue cheese.
That is correct. I click mold, fungus, and spores. A mold for a D20. And in making my Secret Santa stuff this year,
Yep.
I am making dice trays and dice jails and D20s for them. So the one for Critmas, for the Critical Role Secret Santa, got sent out already. I don't think anybody from the Monster Rangers listens to this. So,
I mean, the odds of the person you have being the person listening to the...
let's put it this way. The people who I know who were in the Monster Rangers, who I know personally, don't listen to that listen to this. I do not have them.
There you go.
Yeah.
What we're saying is it's low odds neither of your Secret Santas are listening. Any of your Secret Santas are listening.
So if you're watching the video
Is
for
your
this,
cousin?
What's that?
For the family one?
He's not. No.
Okay.
And technically, he's not my cousin. He's my cousin's boyfriend.
Okay.
But I made this. You can see it a little bit. Get nice and close.
Yeah. Drop it. Oh, camera. I was looking at it.
Get it in focus there a little bit. It's got a nice, cool, like black and green style to it, which is made to match
With a hint of clear.
Yeah, with a little bit of clear, made to match this dice tray.
Yep.
That I made, and so I just need to finish. I've started on the jail for it. I just need to finish that. And so that was what? I can't say
10.
10. Not bad. It's
Half
average.
what I can do.
It's literally average.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's the middle.
Actually, I think 10.5 is technically average.
But anyway, so the other one that I made was just black and clear.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with the way they're coming out. Like I've been enjoying it. You'll have to pardon me wiping my nose. It's a little bit runny. But
Technically, there is no perfect average on 20-sided dice.
no.
If you average everything out, it's 10.5.
Yeah. Welcome to Clinically Inane. We are a nerdy podcast based out of the Seattle area.
If you couldn't guess that already, I'm not worried about you.
Yeah. So far, we have had no drops today, but
Except for the dice.
Yeah, I'm knocking on wood. We still need to swap out our router because my phone has dropped in and out 6 times. We have the router. We just have to fucking tell our internet provider that we have a new router and that they need to
and my
let it work.
Smart house system has been having issues ever since the whole router thing, like swap, started.
Yeah. It's a thing. As always, we get a fucking text message like from Amazon.
Hey, what are they giving away today?
Yeah, let's see it.
Ooh, clean air over the holidays.
Oh, an air purifier on the treasure truck.
Ooh, is it free?
No.
That's the thing I realized that like a lot of this stuff, like on Black Friday, like they'll say like $300 off. And I figure if I can't afford the amount off, I'm not going to afford the actual price.
right. That's kind of the way it is looking at the amounts off for like tools and stuff.
Yeah.
For Black Friday, it's always like I'll go look at like Woodcraft or Rockler or something like that.
Yep.
And it's always like $400 off this joiner, and I'm like, I'll look at the joiner and it's like it takes it from $1,800 to $1,400.
Hey, I can afford the 400 part.
Yeah. I mean, I technically I didn't buy it on any of the major shopping days, but I did spend my good chunk of change already.
I spent my good chunk of change on Cyber Monday.
Yeah, you bought a phone.
Yeah. I want to make sure. Beauty of Cyber Monday is it gave me time to wait till after rent cleared.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Mine was basically I knew I had a chunk of cash coming in.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like it's paid for. It's like it's already done. It's paid for. It's done. I booked a trip to Scotland for a week. It's the first time I will be leaving the country for longer than. Well, first time I'll be leaving the North American continent.
Fancy.
I've gone to Canada and Mexico a number of times, but I have never gone to anywhere outside of. I mean, Hawaii. I guess I've gone to but it's not a different country.
The only other country I've been to is BC.
Canada.
Maybe Alberta.
They're not different. That's Canada.
Or no. Yeah, but I mean, as far as even beyond that, like I've only been to Western Canada.
I've never been to Eastern Canada either.
Yeah.
I've only been to Western Canada. I've only ever been to BC in Canada.
I know I've been to BC. I may have been into what's the next one over? Is that Alberta?
I think so.
Either Alberta or Saskatchewan. Which one was next?
Saskatchewan's up north.
Oh no, Northwest Territories are up north.
That's right. No, so it's like I think it's BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Quebec, and then
something else. Newfoundland.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure how far I've been into. I think it's Alberta.
Yeah,
because we always did road trips. And if you do a road trip, you're never entirely sure when you cross those.
It's going to bother me. I'm going to look now because I don't want to. I don't want to be wrong.
Our Canadian listeners are...
Yeah, well, we have so many fucking Canadian friends that like we need to make sure we get this right.
Canada map.
Okay, so it is so it's
Vancouver, BC, Saskatchewan.
Nope, BC, Alberta.
Oh, it is.
Yep. Saskatchewan.
Oh, what confused me is the Saskatchewan River runs through Alberta. So that was the first word I saw.
BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
And then up north is the Yukon Territory, Northwest Territory, and I'm going to butcher this. Nunavut?
None of it. None of it. I'm having none of it.
That's how people live there. How much of Canada lives in that district? None of it.
None of it. Yeah. Yeah. It's we were close.
Yeah.
So you're right saying you were going over into Alberta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been to Alberta or not.
Possibly.
I'd have to start looking more detailed at the map of little towns. And
yeah.
actually, where's it lined up in the U.S.?
I think it's over Idaho and Montana.
Yeah. So
if you're over Washington, it's BC.
Yeah, but it's far. Maybe it's doubtful, but maybe.
Yeah.
There were so many summer road trips.
Yeah.
Some kids went to Disneyland. I went to dams.
I mean, dams are fun.
We did I was in high school. We started with the most northern dam on the Columbia.
Yeah.
And worked our way down. We didn't go all the way down to Portland, but a good chunk of the dams.
Yeah.
What was interesting is we got in one of the dams up in Canada. They were actually in the process of expanding it.
Yeah.
They were changing it from just being water flow to, or they were adding a second power station.
Mm.
But like they let us go down in the bowels of the dam.
Oh, cool!
Water all around. It was very cool.
Yeah, that is cool. But yeah, so this will be me going in.
You're going, yeah.
Which means that we will likely have a week off from the podcast in April.
Or Curtis will record alone.
Unless you want to somehow figure out how to figure out a guest to come in and record. Like, actually do that yourself for once.
I could do that.
Or we could, since we're pressed for Emerald City again this year, we could just save one of our interviews from Emerald City.
Oh, no, I'm just going to record. I'm going to sit here and record half of it, and then sit there and record half of it, and then splice it together.
That's way too much work.
Oh, it is. It's going to be an hour rambling of Boyd.
Oh, God.
Hour-long podcast of Boyd and the voices in his head.
I mean, we'd have to save it for like a month, but we could save some interviews from Emerald City.
When exactly are you going?
End of April.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll play it by ear. We might just have a week off.
Ooh,
yeah.
Scary.
Well, either way, if we replay something that we previously recorded, or
So end of April, we will have a week off. We'll play something previously recorded, or we'll find a guest.
Yeah.
Or all three.
But it'll only be one episode. So
yeah.
But I'm greatly looking forward to it.
Understandable.
I've wanted to go to Scotland for a long time. I was in the past always kind of like reticent to book a trip because I was whenever I had the money for it to do a trip, I was in a relationship with somebody, and it's kind of hard to book X amount of months out.
Especially in your relationships.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And be like, you want to go with me? And so when I finally just accepted, I was like, I'm going to go by myself.
Woohoo.
Fuck that. I'm just going. Life became a lot easier.
It does.
Yeah. So
life becomes easy when you stop to have to worry about other people.
Yeah. So I'll be staying. If anybody has any tips for Glasgow, I'll take them. But I'll be staying in Glasgow for the entire time.
Oh, I hear it's a good place to Glasgow drinking.
I hate you so much. No, I'm excited. I've looked up a couple distilleries. One of the distilleries that I wanted to go on a tour of, they're still doing tours, but they won't actually be making any whiskey.
Dang.
It's like the off season.
Okay.
And then
rebook.
Yeah, that'll it'll only be like triple the price. Which, by the way, single person to Glasgow, not the fanciest hotel, but a hotel in the middle of city center. Not an Airbnb, not a hostel, but airfare, everything under $900.
Well done.
Right? Yeah. If I would have gone 2 weeks later, $1,200.
Well done.
Yeah. And it's that thing of like, are you willing to be possibly in the rain? And the answer is, I'm from fucking Seattle. I don't think it matters.
Did you also take the option of, are you willing to take weird hour flights?
No.
Okay.
I have amazing hours on my flights. I literally don't. I have to take one less day off of work because I can leave from work to go to the airport on the day that I leave, because I get off work at about 4 p.m.
Yeah.
My flight is at 7:30.
Perfect.
Right?
So you just ditch your car at home and catch an Uber?
Yep. And unless somehow you magically have the day off.
Yeah, depending what day it is, I might.
Yeah. And then I get into Glasgow at about 6 p.m.
Okay, that's nice.
Glasgow time. Well, technically the next day, because you lose a day going over.
Yep.
So I get into Glasgow at 6 p.m.
Start drinking and go to bed.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I will get there with time to like eat something, eat dinner, and go to bed.
What time our time will you be arriving?
I think about 4 or 5 a.m.
Okay. So
Something
you'll probably
like
sleep on
that.
the plane a little.
What's that?
You'll probably sleep on the plane a bit.
Actually, no. Probably about 10 a.m.
Okay. So you'll
Ish.
probably sleep on the plane.
Yeah. The flight is 12 hours.
Yeah.
Well, it's 12 hours of travel. So like, and I have a couple hours in London Heathrow.
Okay.
So I have a layover there for a couple hours, and then it's a little puddle
Enough time
jumper.
to go shop at the gift shop.
Yeah. Then it's a little puddle jumper to Glasgow. But it's doing that is, and like I'll get there at 6 p.m., which the other flight options were like leave at 5 a.m. Seattle time and get to Glasgow at 8 a.m. And like, it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get there and like, I will get there in the evening and just like sacrifice
a night,
a day.
Yeah.
Just so that I don't, so number one, so I can go in and just fall asleep and like try and reset myself immediately. That's part of it. And the other part being, if I get into Glasgow at fucking 8 or 9 a.m., hotel check-in's not till 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to like fucking walk to the hotel, leave my shit there and hope it's
to the city.
No. Yeah. I want to get off the plane, check in, take a shower, and go to sleep.
When I did New York, I got in at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that because I just powered through the day. And
But you weren't staying at a hotel.
No, I wasn't.
You were staying with a friend.
Which made check-in easier.
Yeah. Like, hotel check-in's not till 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, if you get into a city at 8 a.m. and you have to kill time between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, carrying around luggage, too. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It's such a pain in the ass. I don't want to deal with it.
That's fair.
And then my way back, my flight leaves Glasgow at noon.
Oh, perfect.
And I get back here at about 5:30.
Noon's a good time to fly out because, again, that checkout time.
Checkout time is 10 a.m.
You check out, you head to the airport.
Check out at like 9.
Head to the airport.
It's like a 20-minute train ride to the airport. It's like a 10-minute walk to the train, and then a 20-minute train ride to the airport.
Yeah, and just hop a flight and buzz back.
Yeah, and then I literally just do the reverse. I go from Glasgow to London, London to Seattle.
Yeah,
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I have a couple distilleries and breweries written down that I want to go to.
Nice.
I also found the local Glaswegian Castle.
I say you better go to Castle.
Yep, Castle and
I think you go to anywhere in the
and Cathedral.
If you go anywhere in the British Isles and don't make it to a castle,
Right?
What's the point?
Yeah, and there's a cathedral in the middle of Glasgow. Ooh. That's apparently where St. Mungo is.
Nice.
So I'm going to be going to that.
Get me a relic.
I'll see what I can do.
Give me a reliquary from St. Mungo. Don't ask, just take. I brought you a pinky.
No, I'm going to do the same thing that I do every time I go on a trip. Which
Buy
is
all the presents in the gift shop in the airport?
In the airport, everyone will get shitty shot glasses from the airport gift shop.
Oh, you can do better than that for Glasgow.
No. Okay. This is the way it is.
Disappointing.
No, I'll probably find something fun. I'll probably see if I can get some scotch for Tom or something.
Reliquaries are a very valid option.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get what I can do for reliquaries.
Thank you.
Are you going to use them in any sort of ritual?
Depends what you get.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, if it's just a protection one, I might just carry it around. One year I'll work a little necklace with a pinky in it. You know, at work, that wouldn't be the weirdest thing there.
I mean, that's true at your work. No, it wouldn't be.
There's actually up in the staff break room. There is a taxidermied mongoose fighting a cobra.
Really?
Like the cobra's wrapped around the mongoose, like flared up at it.
That's awesome.
It is so beat up.
It's fucking old.
Yeah.
Old and been moved around a lot.
We probably got it from a salvage job. So
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my spending for. Actually, no, that's not entirely true. I bought an Xbox too.
Oh, that too.
It just hasn't arrived yet. That was my Cyber Monday splurge.
Yeah.
Which you made a good point, which was
the coin flip.
Yeah, the coin flip. Well, first, I still owe you a quarter.
You do.
I went to go flip a coin. I was debating it and went to go flip a coin, and it was low light, and I lost the coin. It hit the ground and rolled away in the middle of the bar.
Yep.
And so flipped another coin, and it came up that I shouldn't buy it. And Boy literally looks at me and goes, "Are you disappointed with that outcome?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Then you buy it."
The best phrase I've had for it is, when you flip a coin, you will know your answer while the coin is in the air.
Yeah. And you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I knew when you're sitting there, you have it on the back of your hand, and you have one that you're hoping for.
And that's the thing is, if you're not, it's a no.
Well, and if you're not, and it comes up yes, you can still do it.
Yeah.
But I've also flipped a coin, had it come up yes, and just been like, eh.
And see, when the coin is in the air is where you know the answer.
Yeah. It's when you're faced with the actually making the decision.
When the decision is taken out of your control, you know what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And you're right. And you are absolutely right. So
that was my good advice for the year.
Yeah. So I ordered the Xbox One S, not all digital version, the one with the actual disc, because I still like disc drives.
Well, I mean, as we prepare for the apocalypse, disc drives make sense.
Yes. Physical media is still a thing.
Yeah.
But it's the Gears 5 edition.
Yeah.
So it comes with digital versions of every single Gears of War game. So I'm geared up for it. I played the first two in college because my friends had them on their Xbox 360s.
I played the first one literally because of the song in the ad.
The Gary Jules, Mad World. Yeah, and they're fun games. They're really fun games. And apparently Gears 5 is awesome. And there's a couple Xbox exclusives that I've really wanted to play.
Yeah.
I'm still PlayStation pretty much, for 95% of things.
Yep.
But there's some couple exclusive on Xbox that I'd like to jump over and play.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with a month of Game Pass, so I'll see what's on there.
I mean, I've been playing. My video card came with 3 months Game Pass, and I've been enjoying it.
Yeah. But I might just sign up for Game Pass on my Xbox and because the PlayStation version of Game Pass is not very good.
Yeah.
It's a little problematic. I will continue to just buy games for PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
and maybe just do Game Pass on Xbox. Make sure that the game that I don't.
The nice thing is, if you do it on your Xbox, it'll also work on your Windows machine.
That's true. That's true.
So
it will. It might. I mean, I think this thing's more powerful than I think it is.
You've got the slightly fancier
version of what you've built.
Yeah, and I'm running
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds at full
graphic,
like the high quality settings.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I have a slightly fancier version than
the video card. I'm not sure about, but
video card's the same.
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
And you bought the.
I have the slightly fancier motherboard. We have the same processor.
I think the main difference between your motherboard and mine
is mine has the Wi-Fi built in.
Two things: the Wi-Fi built in,
upgraded Bluetooth.
Nope. Does it have Bluetooth? Yeah. Okay, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and you can change the color of the LEDs on it.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I can.
But that's the thing is, like, all the lights on my computer were red anyway.
Yeah.
And the default on mine is red.
Yeah.
So I just went with it.
Yeah. But it was.
Yeah, you have some wireless stuff and.
Yeah, I think I might have more RAM than you do.
I'm at 16.
32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can fit, I mean, they hold the same amount.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's
I just didn't think I needed 32 currently, so.
There was a sale.
There was not when I got mine.
Also, you got the 2 8 sticks, right? Or do you have a single 16?
What did I?
Because
maybe I do have 32. I got 2. So I have 4 slots.
Yeah, two have.
I got 2 of the maximum size I could get in it.
16.
So
you have 32. Yeah. Because that's a big part of why I got a second stick too is because for those who are unaware, if you are running a single stick of RAM, the latency speeds on it versus if you have say 16 gig single stick of 16 gig RAM, the latency speed on it will be slightly slower than if you are running 2 8 gig sticks because it splits the load.
Yep. And it's a small amount these days.
Yeah. Well, apparently when you're streaming,
it can make a difference.
It can make a difference.
Yeah.
So when another one came up on sale, it was like, I think it was on sale for about $30 less than it normally is. I was like, yes, I will take that.
I don't remember what I got now. I have to go back. I'd have to walk upstairs and actually look at it now.
Yeah. So, but
it might be 16, might be 32.
Yeah.
But again, it works.
Yeah. No, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I take for granted.
It does a lot more than I think you realize.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just so not used to having a strong PC.
Yeah.
That it fucks with me.
That's fair.
But God, I wish I could. So we have our final game of D&D for the year today.
We do? Well, probably.
We're not going to play again between now and New Year.
No, we're not.
Especially since 2 of our group are going to London, before the New Year.
Unless you and I find some other group doing a one-off.
No. I wish I could tell you everything I have planned today.
That's fair.
Well,
because it's also our first game since the Eberron release, which changed my Artificer.
It did change your Artificer build. It changed it completely.
Pretty completely, yeah.
Yeah, it changed. So you were playing completely Unearthed Arcana before. You were playing Mark of Making Human, which is Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah,
and you were also playing Artificer, which was Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah,
with a class that has been now done away with because it was super OP.
Yeah, I mean my background wasn't Unearthed Arcana, but
no. But your actual build, for the most part,
and my Artificer, I was playing the Archivist, which has some serious OP issues.
Yeah, now that you've built out a normal one, you're like, holy shit!
I didn't pick it to be OP either.
No,
I picked it because it seemed like the most interesting roleplay game.
Totally. And since they switched over to the Eberron sourcebook, a lot of the complaints that you had about the other subclasses of the Artificer
have been nullified.
Yeah, exactly. So,
because I was actually going to have my character go insane over the next levels. Overall, it's basically just going further and further into knowledge.
Yeah,
and that kind of less and less connected with reality because of it.
Yeah.
We're doing less of that now. But.
Yeah, that's good. We're gonna. there's going to be some interesting things with that. I also spoke with one of my buddies over at Wizards.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation yesterday about some fun things. We were talking about like what I was planning. And so we had a conversation about what I was planning for today.
Yep.
And so we have some he pitched in some fun plans.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You
know it's a problem. He's also my DM, so like
yeah.
When my DM is pitching things to fuck with you guys.
He's like one of the eternal DMs too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's actually gonna come play an NPC for you guys in one thing that we're planning for. It's gonna be fun. Well, like we'll see how long it takes us to get there, but
I'm curious to see how you're gonna do the switch with my character and what's gonna come up in the story.
Yeah, I've thought about it a little bit. We'll see what we get to today. Yeah. I wish, like I said, I wish I could talk about more of like what I have planned and show you the things that I have.
Oh, we can talk next week.
Yeah, we can talk next week about it. But next week we'll also be talking about Jay and Silent Bob reboot and Jumanji.
Yes, and I am going to Unexpected Productions Christmas Carol next week also.
Oh yeah, what day?
Friday. I think it's Friday.
Jumanji.
I know. I'm trying to remember if it's that next week or the following. Hold on. I can't remember whether it's Friday, and I don't remember if it's next week or the following week.
I say better. Then we can't see Jumanji if you're doing that.
Is Jumanji not on Thursday?
I'm busy on Thursday.
You gotta slow down your life, Curtis.
Yeah. How dare I actually have plans?
Handmaid's on the 14th.
Huh?
It's Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
No Jumanji then.
No Jumanji.
Well, I might still go see Jumanji.
I'll go on Thursday. You go on Friday?
Yeah. I'm going to.
That'd be interesting for us to go separate nights and recap.
Yeah, that would. I'm going to see. I'm going to Enchant on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you enchanting?
I'm enchanting some fucking spells against you, motherfucker.
Is there a reliquary involved?
Yeah, maybe. No, there's an event that happens throughout a bunch of cities in the United States called Enchant, which is a light show.
Okay.
And kind of a little bit of a trade show type thing, where it's the one that happens down at the former Safeco field.
Yeah.
T-Mobile Park, whatever it's called now.
Is that why all the Christmas lights are around the park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's the one last year where you saw all the pictures on Instagram of people with the light bulb drinks around Christmas time. Before they that's how they blew up the light bulb drink glasses, was because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to that on Thursday.
Interesting.
Yeah. But we're going to the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow on Tuesday.
We are.
Which will be interesting because it's going to be a late night. Just prepare yourself.
I always am.
Because it's not only it's at 8:00. We will be watching the movie.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, what did you think it was?
Stand up.
A talk back?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're watching Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Okay.
And then afterward is a talk back.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was. Do you want to go to Jay and Silent Bob? Sure. What am I doing? You had me at Jay and Silent Bob.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, we're going to see the movie.
Actually, you had me at Silent Bob.
Yeah. We're going to see the movie.
Okay.
And then afterward, Jay and Kev do a talk back. Well, Kev does a talk back and Jay occasionally says stuff.
Yeah.
Because Kev will just continue to talk forever. But there's a small part of me that wants to leave work early and just go hang out at Veggie Grill.
That's a valid option.
And
because Jay might, because Silent Bob might,
because Kev might show up.
I'm just thinking Veggie Grill. I mean,
well, so yeah, I might just go hang out at the Veggie Grill in the U District, just see if Kev shows up.
Sorry, my brain is now stuck on the idea of a pre-humorous reliquary.
Posthumous,
but reliquary.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah.
So you're just cutting off a chunk of something and using it as a reliquary?
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, certain I would say that sounds like something like a witch doctor subclass from a witch doctor class from
Summer RPG
would do.
Yeah.
You know, does Pathfinder have witch doctors, or is it? It might be Shadowrun.
I mean, it could also be. I could see it also for even like Blood Magus.
Yeah. Oh God, that's right. I forgot I built out that subclass.
Or even arguably even like the Artificer, Alchemist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Warlocks.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So Blood Magus was a 3/5 prestige class.
Yeah.
And I took that and adjusted it for 5.
Yeah.
And kind of balanced it and homebrewed it into D&D Beyond. And actually figured out how to like give myself the spot to put in slots like the blood points instead of like having to like write that down every time, which was good. But I need a reason to use a Blood Magus character. Thank you for reminding me. I might write one into our story now.
I'm thinking about like this pre-humorous reliquary. Like so one of the things on my
pre-humorous means it's before it's funny.
Pre-humorous?
Homus?
Pre-homus?
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-homus.
Yeah, because posthumous means after death.
My brain is trying to mix words here, all right?
Priesthumus?
I mean, most things I do are pre-humorous.
Yeah. Or pre-humorous is like right before it gets to the humorous bone.
I'm post-humorous.
I'm post-humor. It's like post-rock, but for stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell jokes sometimes it's not funny anymore. But like, so my Artificer, the Archivist, had a thing where like if you chant, you get to chant items basically.
Yeah.
And if you gave them something, give you telepathy link.
Infusion.
It could be really interesting with like the Alchemist if you could do the same idea. Basically, you make one from your own blood.
Yeah.
You have to give so many hit points for like permanently give up HPs for it.
Yeah.
But then you have a telepathic connection to whoever has it while it exists.
Interesting. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That seems like a fun thing to do.
That could also be very the Blood Hunter class.
Blood Hunter, the one that Matt created.
Yeah, where you give a lot of your HP to do stuff. And
yeah, I mean, the Blood Hunters and Blood Magus are very similar.
Yeah,
in that like a Blood Hunter uses damaging itself in order to enhance its abilities to damage others.
Yep.
Blood Magus is able to do the same thing. They're able to convert their own hit points into blood energy to make their spells stronger. It's essentially it's a blood sorcerer.
Yeah.
Like it's a sorcerer subclass.
Yep.
I saw some people online being like, no, it's a wizard subclass. And I was like, no, that's a sorcerer subclass.
I mean, there are probably ways to write it out both directions.
No. The wizard version of this is a fucking necromancer.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really comes down to using your own damage or someone else's.
Yeah, but it is definitely a sorcerer subclass because it's inherent spellcasting ability. Mm-hmm. It's not a learned spellcasting ability. It's not something you study and write down in books or something like that.
Yeah,
it is a learned spellcasting ability. So, one of the things that I wasn't able to figure out how to do was balance the scarification spells. I might just write it in there as like a
there is
flavor.
So there's also a class. Is it a warlock? The Rune Knight.
Rune Knight is a fighter.
There's that, but there's also either warlock or wizard class that has runes involved as well.
Yeah.
And you carve runes into things, and
could
play a similar idea.
Well, it might just be for flavor because in the original Prestige class, the spells that you could use were the ones that you could fit on your skin.
Yeah.
But being that you were technically raised from the dead, you were able to basically wipe it and recarve.
Yeah.
Being the nature of your spells.
I mean,
so much in the way that sorcerers and wizards and druids and all them can prepare spells, like they can have prepared spells versus inherent spell casting.
Yep.
It would just be more for flavor. So like the prepared spells as a blood magus would show up. The runes would show up as scars on the arm. So when they are activating a certain spell, like those scars would like split open and bleed or something like that.
Yeah, I mean I think it works better as just
as flavor
more the RP side of it.
Yeah, because 3.5 as great as it was had it like the one, especially once you got into prestige classes was there's a lot. Like I've gone through and reread it and been like, how the fuck did I understand what was going on? And then I was like, oh, I didn't.
I mean, it's the same idea as like if you get into some of the builds on, I think it's sorcerer, or it's like sorcerer and warlock. You're supposed to have things that affect like effects to your body when you cast spells. Whether it's you float slightly, or there's a wind gust that no one else can feel, or things like that.
Sorcerers.
Yeah,
we have a sorcerer in the group that I play in. Who, well, it might be racial too. But she every time she casts a spell, she can fly up to 10 feet.
Okay, I think it's a racial, or that's an unlock thing. But like in the original build, like you float a couple inches off the ground, or there's a wind that no one else can feel, or you turn cold, or you glow slightly, or things like that.
Yeah,
well, it's just a flavor thing.
A good example of that would be Ford in Critical Role.
Yeah,
he was a Hexblade Pact warlock before he became a paladin, before he cross-classed into paladin. But as a Hexblade, he has the ability to summon the blade. And since his patron was a water-based deity, like an ocean-based deity, every time he summoned the blade, there was a spray of water.
Okay, that makes sense.
The blade itself was covered in like barnacles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Since he became a paladin, he switched from a warlock patron, whose patron was an elder
one?
type god. Called
Elder One is one of the
yeah.
Elder One or Deep One? Elder gods, because they're Elder gods and the Deep One.
I feel like more like deep.
Could he randomly have like tentacles come out of the ground and grab things?
Yes.
Then that would be the Deep One.
And
which is technically an Unearthed Arcana.
Maybe it might have been Elder One.
Okay.
There are a couple spells that.
Yeah.
But it was a god called a deity. I wouldn't say god, a deity called Ukatoa. Sorry, that's what they do in the show.
Is that not the same one from Moana?
No.
Okay.
No, it is not.
I mean, the Toa definitely makes it sound like some sort of water god.
Yeah. It was Ukatoa, who is basically a type of I guess squid god is the best way to describe it.
Like many of the elder interpretations.
Yeah. And who had been locked away, and part of his Ford's pact with him is that Ford was supposed to help unlock the.
That's definitely an elder god then.
Yeah, and Ford said no.
Yeah,
and go fuck yourself, and broke his pact by throwing his pact sword into a pool of lava. And like they did a really cool thing where like Ford just didn't have powers for like 3 or 4 sessions. Like it was pretty intense. Like he didn't have very high strength or anything like that. And it got to a point where they leveled up. And when they leveled up, he was able to take the story in a way that he became a paladin of the it's like, oh god, what is Caduceus's? It's like an Earth Mother type.
Yeah.
And he became a paladin for her after consulting with Caduceus and learning more about that side of things.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting build from a player and DM perspective of a former Hexblade warlock who is now a paladin of a Wild Mother. That's the name of it.
There we go.
The Wild Mother. He's now a paladin of the Wild Mother. So he maintains all of his, like, he doesn't fully lose his warlock pact.
Yeah.
but it is Ukuto no longer has any sway over him. Mm-hmm. His powers are granted to him by the Wild Mother.
Yeah.
Which, as a level 1 paladin and a level 9 warlock, is an interesting build because you don't get paladin spells until level 2. Mm-hmm. But a warlock paladin is interesting because once you start getting paladin spell slots, you get those paladin spell slots, but then you'll also maintain the 2 warlock spell slots.
Yeah.
And those 2 warlock spell slots automatically cast at the highest level. So you start getting paladin spells that you can use for those 2 warlock spell slots and cast at the highest level.
It'll be curious if they say, I mean, your DM could argue that your warlock spells and paladin spells are separate. Takes more tracking, but
yeah, it takes more tracking. It's not what they're doing. The way that they're playing it is that now all of his warlock abilities are being granted to him by the Wild Mother.
Okay.
So his Eldritch Blast, instead of being a sickly green, like...
It's a healthy green?
No, it's chartreuse.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Which is a nice additive to drinks.
Yeah. And instead of he got a new sword too. And his new sword is, instead of being... Before it was a falchion, which is the curved sword.
Yeah, which makes sense for... Because you think of
he was a sailor.
Yeah.
Yeah. His new one is a longsword.
Okay.
And it's kind of like the fucking Aragorn like sword that was rebuilt kind of thing, and it has all sorts of fucking powers. It's really cool.
Nice.
But now when he can summon his sword still because he's still a hexblade.
Yeah.
But now instead of water, it lightly snows when he summons his sword.
Interesting.
Well, it makes sense too because the sword itself is imbued with a type of mithril that has been enchanted with ice dragon breath.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
because my default thought for like summoning a Wild Mother blade basically
is vines and stuff like that.
I would actually picture like bark grows out of your hand and the bark crumbles off the sword.
Yeah, so the sword itself, they had to make this thing called Ice Flex, which is mithril that has been basically breathed upon by a white dragon to the point of it absorbing its abilities. And they somehow tricked a white dragon into breathing onto mithril, and they took it and got it forged. And so now he has this sword that has these like that was broken, and it has these little lines running through it of the Ice Flex.
I like it. And
so it's ice based. But also whenever he has it, like he has some cool shit. Like he basically every time he has the sword out and something hits him, that whatever hits him takes 1d6 of radiant damage.
Nice.
So like if the sword is out, he is being slightly, because he's a paladin of the Wild Mother, he's being protected by her radiance, by like a radiant energy. And so he still takes full damage.
Yeah.
But they also take radiant damage.
Kind of a thorn type effect.
Yeah, exactly. And I was talking with the Wizards folks about it, and they were saying that the way that Matt handled that situation in the story was like a lot of DMs don't have the balls to do that.
Yeah.
Of like, we're going to keep him around with no powers at fucking level 9 for a minute.
Yeah.
And a couple sessions. So like they'd given him a bunch of like items and stuff like that, but he was basically just a kind of strong half orc.
Yeah.
He didn't have any powers or anything like that. And so most people, they would have said goodbye to the character.
Yeah.
Like he would have broken the pact and he would have moved on. Mm-hmm. He would have had to leave because he would have been a liability.
Yeah.
And apparently there was discussion of that.
Like, what do you do with him? The question of what do you do with him afterwards?
Yeah. But he had been asking Caduceus about the Wild Mother for like a solid
build up
leading up to him breaking the pact. And apparently Travis was talking about how in breaking the pact itself, he wasn't planning to do that. It was a
on the
spur of the moment thing, and basically he was playing chicken with an elder god, and the elder god didn't called his bluff, so he didn't blink.
Yeah,
and he started by like taking the sword and shoving it into his own chest, and basically being like, "You need me more than I need you," and nothing, and it was basically that, you know what, fuck you. And threw the sword into the lava.
I mean, convenient lava also.
I mean, they were in a mountain.
Yeah.
And he'd been dealing with... Basically, what had happened was he had strayed from, like, doing the work to release Uk'otoa. And so Uk'otoa was punishing him by taking away his powers.
Yeah.
Randomly. And he'd done it to him, like, 3 times already. And so he's just like, fuck this.
I mean, the lava is a really useful thing. If you throw it in a snowbank, wouldn't be as effective. Throw it in a stream, wouldn't be as effective.
Yeah. Well, and you have to destroy the sword.
Like, or squirrels may not be as effective.
Here's the thing, is that even if he would have broken his pact by throwing away the sword, somebody else could have picked it up.
Yep.
And so... Lava.
Good for all your destructive purposes.
Yep. Yeah. Lava in a mountain used to create enchanted weapons. Legendary enchanted weapons.
Yeah.
Like,
must go back to where it was created.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
That was literally why they were there. Caduceus had the 2 halves of the sword and wanted to get them fixed, and he knew it was for Ford. Like, not just like he hadn't. Taliesin was talking about how he didn't like talk about it really with Matt. He just knew that it was for Ford
because basically, like, his deity knew when.
Yeah. Like, so Taliesin knew, so Caduceus knew, and like, but nobody else did. He just had a feeling that it was.
Caduceus knew, so Taliesin knew, or
yeah,
one of those 2 ways.
It is funny watching them play in the campaign and see like little bits of their old characters come out.
Yeah,
like Caduceus is super dumb, super high wisdom, super low intelligence. He's like got an intelligence of like 7 or something like that, but his wisdom is like 20.
We had
an
old D&D story about that.
Yeah, Stan.
Yeah.
Caduceus is very different from Percy, who had a very high intelligence, and it's occasionally really funny. You can see Taliesin stomping down Percy in his brain.
I can see that.
Like he'll start to say something and be like, "Nope."
Yeah,
like I wouldn't know that.
I mean, in some ways, it's trying to play what your default archetype is, and against that.
And like it's really funny, especially when it's stuff that could possibly connect back to the previous campaign, because this takes place 20 years later, on a different continent, and when it's something that could possibly, like Whitestone, where Percy was from, came up at one point, and you could see Taliesin like smashing it down in his brain.
I mean, it can be hard to avoid meta.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he talks. He's like, Percy would be all over this.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
The most recent episode was funny because Caduceus doesn't usually talk a lot, but like Taliesin had like a panic attack in character and talked a lot and very loudly, and everyone at the table was just kind of like, "What the fuck just happened?" Yeah, it was pretty great. All this to say, Critical Role is still pretty great.
That's good to know.
I am very much looking forward to throwing some stuff at you guys today, though, that you're not prepared for. Like literally, what I'm doing today was a decision made yesterday at 11 a.m.
Uh-oh. I mean, this thing is, I don't think I've told the group. I don't think I've really told anyone in the group that I'm changing.
No, only I know. Yeah. And the only reason I know is because I bought the Eberron book. We knew it was coming out. Yeah. And I basically gave you the option.
Yeah. Well, we had to chat through it anyway.
And like I was requiring you to change your race, but because they were taking away the subclass, I did not require you to change.
My race
subclass.
change went from Unearth Arcana mark of making human to official mark of making human.
Yeah. That's why I made you change it.
Yeah.
But because your subclass was
evaporated,
was going away, I wasn't about to make you change that. unless absolutely necessary. But then we looked at it and went, yeah, you should change.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like after reading the three new variations.
Yeah.
Like it made more sense. And
yeah. And also we've fully established with the fact that you were Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah.
And the fact that your character is from Ravnica and playing Eberron stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's some funky shit happening.
Yeah. I mean, we already have some background that my character accidentally planeswalked. And
yeah. And that's how you ended up there.
Yeah.
I still love that the fucking bird person is the only one who knows you're from a different plane of existence.
Yeah.
I do have to give it to the group for like a bunch of people who haven't played a lot of D&D. They're pretty good about like me being like, you might know that as a person, but your character has no clue.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, yep.
Yeah.
I think part of it is that then that means they immediately forget it out of their brain, but it's not something they have to hold on to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But unless somebody says something in character, there's no reason for it to.
Well, like 2 of our people joined a guild, and I don't know that.
Yeah.
Or group or something.
They joined the Lord's Alliance.
That was it.
Yeah.
I joined something.
Yeah, they joined something. You were not asked to join because.
And I wasn't present when I.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, you guys were specifically not asked to join.
Yeah.
Because you're very embarrassing.
Thank you. I'll be here all session.
That was also when Tom decided that I'm a bird was a thing.
Oh yeah, I need to fuck with him on that one.
Still a bird? Yeah.
Well, because Tom is a -1 on his charisma check.
Yeah.
And up to a -2 or a +2.
Yeah.
I could be plus. I'm a couple pluses, and I could be even higher if I wanted to when we level up next.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys are embarrassing. So
I went in knowing I was going to be embarrassing.
Yeah. And he discovered that he's embarrassing, and our barbarian is embarrassing by accident.
Well, see, in that situation, I knew I was going to be embarrassing. I was choosing to lean into it.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas the girls in the group were like, maybe we should be like a little bit more subtle, and you're like, nope. So, but I'm interested to see where you guys go. I need to stop writing so far ahead. So I like we're in chapter 3. I've written 16 chapters,
and someone in the group can find a way to really fuck up that plan.
Yeah, that's why I'm not writing any further ahead. I'm like the furthest ahead. I wrote out all that stuff.
If you're in 16 chapters and we're in chapter 3, Curtis, if we keep doing one a month, you're into 2021 currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm well aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We may not have the same characters by then.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I'm kind of like I need to back off a little bit.
You're throwing out backstory things that like are people who are dead.
Yeah, exactly. But that's part of it is that I've, for the most part, the stuff that I've written out are major plot points that you need to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around there is
fluid, flexible,
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah.
Everything that I've written will come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it affects you guys will change.
Yeah.
Based on character decisions, if they're still the same characters, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Which is fun. It's a fun thing, but like that also means that I need to like. Honestly, I shouldn't be further than chapter 7 ahead, simply because. Yes and no, because like a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in the later chapters, I'm setting up like story elements for now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a balancing act of like I'm trying to drop things now in the story that will come up later.
Yeah.
And be a thing. It's just whether or not you guys are the same characters even by then.
Or would we go completely off the rails somehow?
Yeah. But, I mean, and I know who the big bad is.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it's not obvious.
Okay.
Like
it's Prof Dubs, isn't it?
Yep, it is. It is.
He's been lying to us all along.
It is our bird person. No,
he's not actually a bird person. He's a changeling.
Yeah. No, I know who the big bad is.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see how you guys get there.
We're gonna take a complete off the rails. I'm gonna shove a portable hole into a bag of holding.
Please don't. I don't.
There is actually a documented effect of what happens when you do that.
Yeah, it ends the universe.
No, it doesn't. Everything within 10 feet is randomly planes jumped.
That's right. It's the other way around. If you open a bag of holding if you reverse a bag of holding into a portable hole,
yeah,
it ends the universe.
Yeah. But that way it just planes jump everything 10 feet around it.
God, we just got a portable hole in my game that I'm playing.
Yeah.
And like, I'm terrified of any of us getting a bag of holding because there are some real dumb people in my group
who know all this shit.
I know, right?
Part of me wonders, like, if you took a bag of holding or took a portable hole and stuck it on the stomach of a dragon, what happens?
It's a good question. It opens to another plane of existence. So
I thought it's not quite Looney Tunes hole, is it?
No.
It's
so a portable hole is it's basically a transportable storage locker.
Yeah.
It's usually a 10 by 10 locker, like storage facility.
Yeah.
Which is as organized or disorganized as you make it.
Yeah.
Which is different than a bag of holding, because
just a giant bag.
No, it's not a giant bag. A bag of holding is a bag that has a pocket dimension in it.
Yeah.
So if you open up a portable hole, everything that's in there, regardless of who opens it, is there.
Yeah.
A bag of holding, you have to know what you're going for in order to remove it from the bag.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And one of the items I lost on my Art of History change that I could have made was a bag of many pockets.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is fine by me. But yeah, a bag of holding is very, very different than a portable hole.
Okay.
One of my favorite things that Matt had in campaign 1 of Critical Role was the bag of colding.
Yeah.
Which was a bag of holding but refrigerated. So they would use that to carry stuff like skins. So that, like, if you just put that in a bag of holding,
it'll rot.
Well, depending on how you play. Technically, if you get super technical about it, you put it into a bag of holding and it puts it in stasis. But it's more fun to make people...
Because it's also... The ones coming before that was the question is if you stick a creature in a bag of holding.
Yeah.
And there is actually online things because a DM's group did it where they captured some sort of fish person.
Yeah.
And filled the bag of holding with water in this thing.
Yeah.
And the question is, how long could it survive?
Yeah.
Did not last long enough for him to get it back to town.
No.
But the people did like, okay, this is expected size bag of holding. That's the amount of air you could fit in it. Amount of, if the creature this large is probably going to require this much oxygenation in the water. You can fit this much water. You look at this much time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a question of is time passing within the bag as it is in the plane that you're on?
Yeah.
Does it put it in stasis? Does it pass faster, slower? Like, so if you're having it pass at the same rate at which you are existing,
yep,
then having a bag of colding
makes sense.
A good thing.
I've also saw someone created an Unearthed Arcana or a
homebrew
of a bag of appetite, which is like a bag of holding, but it randomly eats things inside it.
Oh god!
Unless you basically give it meat.
Oh god, it's terrifying. Yeah, I'm excited. Well, we can talk a bit next week about
what
happens today, and the thing I have planned will either take the entire session, or will be over very quick.
Because we're at this point heading back into the town to collect some bounty.
Correct. And so we'll see how it plays out. I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Because right now my character sheet is adjusted for the new play.
Yes.
But there's things that I am intentionally not doing until after a long rest.
Yeah. Yeah. If I remember correctly, we ended last session with you guys bedding down for a long rest.
I thought we were heading back to town.
We did a quick you guys got back to town.
Okay.
And got back to the inn, and we're getting ready to go for a long
rest.
I
wasn't sure if we were heading back to town to collect bounties or head back to town to go to the inn.
It was late at night.
Okay.
It was at night, so you were about to take a long rest and get up in the morning and collect bounties.
And the way our normal room assignments go, my character has his own room.
Yep.
Because he also works late at night.
Yep. So, it should be interesting to see how that goes. That being said, we're out of time.
Are we?
Yep.
All right.
So that's it for this week.
Bye, kids.
Bye, kids.